It is Taco Tuesday, so let's talk about delicious shredded beef tacos without a lot of prep work. Food blogger Erica Schlick has an Instant Pot recipe.
Today I'm going to be showing you how to make one of my favorite recipes in my cookbook. This is my Instant Pot shredded beef, and this is one of the most versatile recipes. You can use this as tacos, you can put it on top of a salad, on a taco bowl, whatever you want to do, even eat it on its own with a side of pico. But today I'm going to be showing you how to put this together into my favorite grain-free tacos. And the meat itself is very easy. It's very simple to do. We've gone ahead and started our Instant Pot and set it to saute, and I'm going to go ahead and add 1 tablespoon of avocado oil and let that start to heat up a little bit. And I've gone ahead and chopped my meat, so this is a great way to save some money on using a little bit less expensive cut of meat. I'm going to be using just a stew meat that I've cut into 1.5-inch cubes here, and I always go for grass-fed beef. And we're going to go ahead and just add our beef to the Instant Pot and start to kind of coat it with the oil in there. And it's very simple. We're just going to add 1 tablespoon of garlic powder. We're going to add 1 tablespoon of onion powder, and I have a teaspoon of sea salt. And that's it. We're just going to go ahead and coat our meat, make sure the seasoning gets all over it, and then go ahead and start to brown it while it's here on the saute function. And then it's going to be super easy. We're just going to put the lid on our Instant Pot. We're going to set it to the default stew setting, which is about 35 minutes worth of cook time once it pressurizes. And I like to leave it in to naturally release the pressure for about 15 to 20 minutes after the beeping has come, letting you know that the meat is cooked. And honestly, the longer you leave your meat in there, the more tender, the easier it is going to be to shred. So a lot of times I'll actually make this early in the morning, get the seasoning in here, get the meat cooking, and let it sit warming and depressurizing in the Instant Pot for about an hour or two, and then have it for lunch, and it's so tender and so juicy. So that's about it. So we've browned our meat here a little bit. We don't need to overly brown it. You really just want to do a light browning on it and get the seasoning on there, and we are ready to seal up. So go ahead and put our lid on, make sure it's pressurizing, and we'll go ahead and set it to meat stew for those 35 minutes. And we'll come back and see when our meat is ready. And while our meat is finishing cooking, we're going to go ahead and put together the rest of the toppings for our taco. So we're going to start with the very simple pico, and I've got about 5 tomatoes that have been diced here, and it comes out to about 1.5 cups of diced tomatoes. And we're going to go ahead and add some fresh cilantro. This is about 1/2 cup of fresh cilantro. This is the juice of 1 lime. And I have a teaspoon of garlic powder and a teaspoon of sea salt. And that's it. I like to keep my pico very simple and just kind of mix this together. It's very fresh, very simple, comes together very quickly, and that is it. We can go ahead and set this aside. And now we're going to make our avocado crema, and I love this as a topping on all my tacos. It works great for salad dressings as well. So I've got 1 whole avocado here, and I have the juice of 2 limes. And I have 1/4 cup of coconut milk, and I always make sure to use a coconut milk without gums, just a very pure one. I've got 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of sea salt, and I have 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. And I've gone ahead and put this all into my Vitamix, my high-speed blender here, and we're just going to go ahead and get this combined. Now, the coconut milk definitely does make this sauce a little bit thick, so I like to use a little bit of water to make sure that that gets thinned out to the consistency I like. Now, it's all about personal preference. If you like a little bit of a runnier sauce, you can add some more water. I like to do just a little bit at a time until I get that perfect consistency that's going to sit well on our tacos but not drizzle everywhere. Alright, that looks about right. Yeah, nice and creamy, ready to go. So now we're just waiting for our meat to finish up. We'll go ahead and get that shredded and start assembling our tacos. Alright, and our meat is out of the Instant Pot and ready to shred and assemble our tacos. So I've gone ahead and put it here on my cutting board, and my favorite way to shred it is just to use 2 forks, and then you really just kind of go through the meat and just shred it apart. It's very tender, so it comes apart very easily. And I reserve a little bit of the sauce that's still in the Instant Pot. You can always put that on the meat, especially if you're just having the meat on its own or having it with a salad or a taco bowl. For the tacos, I do like to keep it a little bit drier just because we're going to be putting all our other taco toppings on it. So Gonna go ahead and just shred a little bit here to show you how to do that. And then let's go ahead and assemble one of our tacos. So I've gone ahead and heated up some of my grain-free tortillas, and I'm using almond flour ones. There's also cassava flour ones, there's coconut flour ones, plantain flour ones on the market now. So it's very versatile ways to keep this grain-free. And we'll go ahead and just get some of our shredded meat here and pile that into our tortilla shell. And then here's where the magic happens. I like to do the pico next, so we'll just go ahead and put a sprinkle of the pico on here. And last but not least, our avocado crema, and just like to drizzle that on there. And our tacos are ready to go. They're so good. You're gonna wanna live off of this recipe. You can get the pico, the avocado crema, and the shredded meat all in my cookbook, Wandering Palette, which is available on my website and on Amazon as well.